Hi everybody, it's Nikki here and welcome to a makeup video. So today's video is my Panna's Bingo update. This is hosted by Caena from Caena's Closet. I will link all of her information for you in the description box down below. Please do check it out if you are interested in joining in this project pan, because there is no end date to this. So you can start this and finish it whenever you hit bingo. And I love that. I love that this is one of those project pans that you don't have to wait for a certain time of the year before you can start it. You can start it whenever you want. Just let Caena know that you're joining in and she'll add you to the list. So, I have been playing card number 4 and about 7 to 10 days before the 1st of every month, Caena calls out 5 new numbers, and this month I only got 1 new number, which is fine by me. I already have quite a few items already in this project, so I don't really want to be getting like 3 or 5 numbers every month, because I would be working on another lot of products. And the less products I have in a project pan, I find I can focus in and get them used much quicker than if I have a project with a large amount of products in it. So I am happy to note that not only did I get 1 new number on my board, but I have 1 empty. So I have another number filled in on my bingos board, because although I may have the number on my card, until I've actually hit goal or finished the product completely, I don't actually get to claim that number as it's done, do you know? So the number that I got finished was 068, and that was a skincare item, and it was my Botanicals Moroccan Rose Superfood Facial Oil. So it is all gone completely, nothing left in there at all. In fact, I ended up, because this is a dropper, I just ended up tipping out what was left into my hands and using it up. I have always, prior to putting this into this project pan, I've always steered a little clear of using facial oils, because I had that thing in my head, well, I don't want my face to be all greasy before I apply my makeup. But I have always been aware that I have really dry skin, and so that's why I moisturize frequently. When I put this in, I was like, this is probably going to be here for all year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. But actually I used it up pretty quickly, because my skin loved this stuff. It absolutely soaked it right in. It didn't make my skin greasy. It actually helped soften and plump my skin. Where I would normally have dry patches that my foundation would literally highlight, this made it so that those dry patches disappeared. I have not suffered with dry patches of skin on my face since using this facial oil. So I do have a couple more facial oils in my collection. I've never bought facial oil, but I got them in like subscription boxes and things like that. But after using the Botanicals, the Dr. Botanicals, sorry, Moroccan Rose Superfood Facial Oil, I'm a little more inclined to dig a couple out or dig another one out and start using that in my skincare routine every night, because yeah, I loved this stuff, absolutely loved it, and my skin did too. My skin absolutely loved it. So I've discovered something new in my skincare regime, and I'm not mad about it. So that is completely finished and out of my collection. So that is 068 completed. So I now have 2 numbers on my board. We have B8 and 068. So that is what my board is looking like. So moving on to the new product. The new number I got was 070, And the prompt for that was favourite brand. Now there's nothing at the moment that jumps out as my favourite brand. So I kind of went with a brand that I have a lot of items from. So I must like this brand a lot because I have bought a lot of items from it. But I don't know if that's because I like the brand or whether it was very convenient. It was readily available to me. It was pretty cheap. It's Revolution. Of course I'm talking about Revolution. So this is the Revolution Pro HD Powder Contour Palette. And this palette, I'm putting this in because this palette throws me for a loop every 6 months when I do my makeup inventory. And the reason for that is because I do my makeup inventory in a certain list way. So I'll count my primers, my foundations, concealers, setting powder, and then I go on to blushes, bronzers, and highlighters. And every time I count my setting powders, I forget that there is 2 setting powders in this palette. I'll open the lid up because it keeps shining at you. So I class this banana powder here and this powder here as setting powders for my collection, because there's absolutely no way I would use either of these as a bronzer. So I count them as setting powders. But I keep forgetting that these are in here. So I count my setting powders and I go, oh, I'm down 2 from the last 6 months. Oh, that's good. And then I get to my bronzers and I go, oh, there's a 2. There's a 2 I thought I'd done. I hadn't done them. So because of that, I want to really working on these 2 setting powders and getting them out of this palette. So like finishing them up. I'm not going to do both of them for this. I'm just simply going to be working on this one. So I'm going to attempt to hit pan on this. I'm not going to use it completely up because I do have another setting powder in another project pan. So I'm going to have to divide my time between the 2. But I know that I can probably hit pan on this relatively easy. It still take a couple of months, but I should be able to hit pan on this relatively soon. So yeah, we're gonna try and hit pan in this shade here, and then hopefully I can continue to like work on this behind the scenes and get at least one of these powders out by the end of the year, hopefully. If the other powder that's in my other project pan is used up relatively soon as well, because it's only a mini, then I will be solely using this one anyway. So it must be home time for school. So yeah, I'll be working on that one so that hopefully in the next 6 months, 12 months, when I do my makeup inventory, I don't get caught up with this palette again and missing those 2 setting powders, because then I have to go back and readjust my numbers, and it makes for really messy handwriting. So yeah, it scribbles out all over the place. I don't like it. So yeah, that is coming in for 070, favourite brand, this lighter shade here in the Pro Powder Contour Palette. Okay, so moving on to the products that have been in for a while and have just got progress on them. So the first item is something that I have on my lips today, but it is over a very dark lip liner. So the shade has slightly changed on it, and that is my NYX Lip Lingerie in Exotic. This is a beautiful brick red shade. So it looks like that. So that's the colour that it would normally be, but with a deep cherry lip liner underneath is what I have on my lips today. This I have used 4 times since the last update. I've started noting down when I've used a product so that I can see why I'm not getting much movement on the weight if I haven't used it very often. So I'm not going by usage on this. I am trying to use this up completely, but it has gone from 11.46 grams down to 11.31 grams. I am definitely seeing windows in there now, and when you look down the barrel, You can definitely see that around the edges it's clearing, but there's still quite a lot of product in there. It's all over the wand and everything. So this is going to continue for some time. I think the chances are this is going to dry out before I finish it. But we're going to keep going because I'm determined to finish a liquid lipstick this year. Didn't happen last year, but it will happen this year. The next item I have actually had to repress, and that is my Rocketeur blush from Benefit. I repressed it. So this was around the edges here and I could not get my brush into it. So I repressed it. So it's very, very thin, a very, very thin layer. Yeah, I'm hoping that we can get that finished. This has, I expected this to put weight on, poor girl, because of repressing, but apparently it lost weight. So I must have used quite a bit of it before I repressed it. So it went from 10.35 grams to 10.19 grams. So a good 0.15 grams gone, which doesn't sound a lot, but for a blush, I'm pretty happy with that. I do feel now as well, this is what the blush looks like. It pressed really, really well, I must admit. I do feel like I can start to finish this very soon, now that I've repressed it, because it's a lot softer pressed. I did that on purpose because I want to finish this up. So that's that one. The next one is my the Body Shop Warm Vanilla Hand Cream. And this smells absolutely delicious. I have this in my bedside table, so I try to use this quite regularly before bed, when I wake up in the morning, and if I'm sat on my bed reading or something, I'll put a little bit of this on. So this has gone from 22.74 grams to 18.26. We are getting down to there. So we still have this part to go. I'd say it shouldn't take me too long, but I have a lot of hand creams dotted around the house in all different places, and I use different ones at different times, so it's not my main focus, but it will slowly but surely win the race. The next item has gone down a lot. So again, I have sat this at the side of my bed because I am trying to get it used up. And so I kind of just spray it on myself first thing in the morning when I get up and before I go to bed, and multiple times a day. So it is my Fresh Mood body mist, and we have gone from up there to down here. Yes, I've been quite liberal with it. So it's had a lot of usage this month. I reckon we could finish this by next month for sure, especially if we're using that much since last month. I know I can definitely get this finished. And then it will be out of my collection. I would never repurchase this again. I don't like the scent. It does catch in my throat. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend these I got it from Boots, and I would not buy again. But yeah, that should hopefully be an empty next month. So that will be another space hit. Ice cream, man. When you've quite finished. Thank you. Okay, the next one, still here. The MAC lipstick in Marrakeshmere, which is this one here, is still in the project pan, still not opened because I was working on another lipstick sample that I wanted to get finished. This is going to be opened this month, and I'm going to concentrate on this one to get this one finished, because that way then I know that I can get through one of these in a month. So yeah, now that I've finished the other sample that I had, I'm going to be moving on to this one. So this is going to be a priority for February. So technically I could have this finished and this finished next month which would be awesome, would be 2 numbers hit. So yeah, it's still here, and it was for the prompt easiest to pan, and it's still here, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 months after it has been put into the project. Kind of failed that prompt, didn't it, really? But it is easier to pan once I open it, so it is still here. That's by MAC, by the way. It's a MAC sample. Okay, the next one, I did wear this month, but I don't like red nails. I've discovered this. I don't like a matte red or a glossy red nail unless it's got shimmer in it. If it's got shimmer in it, then I can get away with it around the Christmas period or maybe Valentine's Day. But any other time, I just don't like a red nail. And this one was up here, but we're now down here. I don't think I was up there, to be honest. I only used it once. But what I actually did was I put a topper on it, and I put this purple topper that was in a project pan last year, and this is the Maybelline nail polish in Tutti Frutti. Can you focus there? Focus. Yep. And it's it's got kind of like a misty kind of base to it, with these purple kind of sparkles. And what it did was it changed the red into a bit of like a purpley red sort of shade. Looked really good. I much preferred it to just the plain red on its own. So that's how I'm going to continue to use this red nail polish, because on its own I just don't want to wear it, and that's why I haven't very much since I put it into the project. But now that I've discovered that I can put this topper on it and change the colour literally, and I can get both of these used then, I'm hopefully going to be wearing this more frequently. The next item I have been trying to focus in on this month, and that is my Enchanted palette from Revolution, the Forever Flawless Enchanted. My goal is to use this 10 times. Last month I used it for 3 times, including today. And so that is a total of 5 uses so far in the project. So we do have another 5 uses to go. I am again going to try and focus on this one to try and get it so that this has hit goal by next update, because I really do want to try and get some of these items, you know, moved up and out of my collection, so it gives me time to work on other project pans as well. And plus as well, it seems like I'm getting at least 1 new number each roll call, so the less products I have to use in the project, as I said earlier, the more easier I can focus in on them and get them used. So we have 5 uses out of 10 so far, and I'm very happy with it. I'm not 100% happy with the look that I created today. I did the same thing the other day, but it turned out a hell of a lot better. I'm not happy with it today, but I have been using this shade here quite a bit, and this shade as well. No, I haven't. I lie. I've been using this shade and then this purple shade. Yeah, that's the one. This purple shade as well. I've been using those, and I've kind of dabbled with these greens as well. But I really want to try. I've thought of a look that I could use using these sort of bluey grey shades here, which I might try for a couple of uses that I've got left for this palette. So yeah, 5 uses out of 10, 3 of those being in the last month. So I'm quite happy with that. The next item is a product I realised I'm really glad it's a sample and I can hopefully finish this very, very soon. I don't like it. It is the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte Lipstick and it's in the shade Wifey. On its own, no, absolutely not. This is not a shade I suit on its own on my skin. You would think that looking at that, I really would suit it, but I don't know what happens when I put my makeup on and then I put this on its own. It just, I feel like concealer lips. It feels like it's washed out my lips and it doesn't look good. So what I have to do is I have to pair this with a dark brown lip liner. So what I do is I put this dark lip liner on all over my lips underneath, and then I put Wifey on top of it, and that darkens up the liquid lipstick, and then it suits me. So it just needs to be a tone darker and it would be beautiful on the lips, but it's not. So I fix that problem by adding a, we'll put it that way so you can see the shade, by adding a dark brown lip liner that needs to get used up anyway, so I'm not complaining too much about it, but it's definitely not a colour that I would repurchase in the future. And to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of the formula. It doesn't set down, it doesn't dry, it stays tacky for the rest of the day. And it's that kind of tacky that when you put your lips together, they kind of peel apart. It's not nice, I don't like it. But it's only a sample and it's really, really, like, you can see there's not a lot in there. This is going to be finished relatively quick. So I will continue to use it for the project pan, but no more at all. So it has gone, did I weigh it? Yeah, I did weigh it. It was 18.73 and it's gone down to 18.71. I only used it twice, but it is so thin that you barely use any at all. So it might take me a little bit longer than I hope it to, but yeah, I used it twice. I've been focusing on other lip products. And that is it. That is everything. Oh, my Colourpop. Nearly missed it. It's what's on the base of my eyes here, on my eyelids. You know me and Colourpop Issa. If you don't know about me and Colourpop Issa in Super Shock Shadow, where have you been? You must be new to my channel. But this is one of my favourite shades I've got of my Super Shock eyeshadows. It is that shade there, this purpley blue shade. And get that wiped off before it ends up all over. I'm going to change my goals on this because my goal originally was to completely use this up. But I'm realizing that in order to do that, this is going to be in for months and months and months, because it took me all of 2020 just to get this half used up in my Pan That Palette theme for 2020, which was the Panning Solitaire, where we had a single, a duo, a trio and a quad to pan, and this was my single. And it is starting to dry up, I'm gonna say that. It is starting to flake. You can see some of the flakes here at the bottom there, and a big chunk did come off when I was using it one time, so I just threw that in the bin. It is drying up, but then, as I say, I've been using it for quite a few years now. So I'm actually going to change my goal on this because I really don't think I'm going to be able to use this up completely anytime soon. So what I'm going to say is, as it's 2022, I want to use this 22 times. I think we're going to put a usage goal on this because if I have to focus in on this to use it up, I'm not going to get any of my other eyeshadows used in my other project pans. So It has changed weight. It's gone from 18.27 to 18.16 grams. So it is going down, but it's going down very, very slowly. So I think we have to change our goal on this one. So 22 uses for this. And I've used it 3 times in the last month, including today's look. So that is it. That is everything from Hannah's bingo. I really do think that I will definitely finish the body spray. I will, if I focus in on this, finish my Marrakeshmere lipstick sample. And I could get another 5 uses out of the Enchanted palette. So that could be potentially 3 products finished or hit goal on by next month. And I am extremely happy with that. I have been making more of an effort this month in January to wear makeup more frequently, because that is one of my goals for 2022. And I have worn makeup in January. This will be my 12th or 13th time I've worn makeup in January, which doesn't sound a lot, but compared to last year, it's more than doubled. So in a month. So I'm extremely happy with that. We're really going for it this year. I want more makeup empties this year than I had last year. So yeah. So that is my update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.